Alayne Kay Christian here. I decided to do a partial reading of The Weed That Woke Christmas so people could get a taste for it. It is based on a true story. The heart of the story truly did happen. There was no weed that thought to himself, but well, I don't know. Maybe the weed did think. But anyway, it's wonderfully illustrated by the great Alayne Kay. And before we move on, the point I want to make is this is more than a Christmas book. It's a great Christmas gift, but the story and the message is to bring the spirit of Christmas year round, not just year round, but throughout your life. You know, have that spirit of kindness and giving and unity and community. Keep that with you year round. The other thing is the reason it's more than just a Christmas book is because it goes through the seasons. It starts with spring, moves into summer, moves into fall, then winter and Christmas, and then back to spring and summer. So it's a perfect book, you know, to any time that you want to share the concept of kindness with your children year round. It's perfect. Anyway, that's it. Moving on. I'm reading the story from an e-arc in uncorrected proof, so there may be some little tiny flaws in either the art or the text or something like that. I'm showing the half title because it's got a couple interesting things. The true story occurred on the corner of Secor and West Alexis in Toledo, Ohio. And the mayor wrote a proclamation to celebrate the togetherness and jollity brought to the area. And here's a little quote from what he wrote. From one tiny gesture there arose such a clatter that the Toledo Christmas Weed garnered national chatter. The book was written by me, Alayne Kay Christian, and beautifully illustrated by Kalina Gortman. It's published by Blue Wall Press and imprint of Clearport Publishing. When weed was a seed, it tumbled on a breeze, and snuggled in a crack, smack dab in the middle of a busy traffic island. Spring rains showered, and weed sprouted. Summer sun warmed, weed grew. Cars zoomed, people zipped and scurried, always in a hurry, but no one noticed weed. Autumn air chilled, falling leaves danced, and weed flourished. Winter winds whipped, Jack Frost nipped, weed shook and shivered. So many people, so much activity, still no one noticed weed. One day, two women stopped right in front of weed, excited to be noticed. Weed swayed and waved proudly, but the women didn't even turn their heads. Weed wavered for a moment, and then stiffened with determination. Someone would notice. We'd wished and hoped and dreamed until one day a little girl stopped. To Weed's surprise, she smiled and removed the plastic bag tangled in its branches. She wrapped Weed with shiny garlands and sparkling tinsel. For the first time, zooming cars and zipping people noticed Weed. A man hung flashing lights, a boy spread a tree skirt, and a woman placed a star upon Weed's head. And every day Weed noticed change all around. Some people who had plenty left gifts, and other people who didn't have quite enough took what they needed. Crowds gathered, camera crews came. People lined up to take photos with the famous Christmas weed. Car horns beeped cheerful hellos. Excitement and joy bubbled in the neighborhood. A man and woman passed out sandwiches and hot cocoa. People brought more and more gifts. Weed wiggled and jiggled with glee at the sights and the sounds of the Christmas Jubilee. A band played Christmas songs. Street entertainers performed, and people sang out, "Oh, Christmas weed, how lovely are your branches." When Weed's branches bobbed with delight, but not because people had finally noticed it. Instead, people noticed each other. Goodness and love washed over the city, and Weed's heart soared. One night, a howling chill roared through the city. A storm raged. Cold winds whipped. Ice pellets pounded Weed's branches. Cars crawled. People slipped. Weeds sagged, bowed, and bent until snap! Weed was gone. Once the ice had melted, all that was left was a plain, gray traffic island. Weed's magic had melted away. So I'm going to leave you there. Because I want to encourage you to read the book and find out what happens. There's a beautiful ending, and it leaves readers feeling hopeful and happy. I think it's a very touching ending as well. I'm excited to share that this book won an Independent Publishers Book Award for holiday books, and it also won the Story Monster Approved Award for making a difference. Perhaps you noticed while I was reading, although I know there wasn't a lot of time to look at the illustrations, there's a complete other storyline going on in the illustrations. I did a video called Seeing Beyond the Words for teachers, illustrators, and authors. You can find that on my YouTube channel. The link is here on this page. I don't know how if you'll be able to get to it or not, but you can do a search, Alayne Kay Christian YouTube channel, and go to my playlist, and you should be able to find the video. It walks you through telling you all the background story that shows up in the illustrations. It's very cool. The book's available at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Book Depository, Books A Million, Walmart, and many other stores and libraries. Thank you for taking time to listen to my reading.